Hi everyone, welcome to our science class. I'm High5 Einstein, and I'm excited to learn with you today. Get ready to think like a scientist, ask questions, explore ideas, and discover how science helps us understand the world around us. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered how scientists figure out what causes something to happen? To answer questions, scientists conduct experiments and carefully observe the results. Today, we will learn how to identify independent and dependent variables in different experiments and real-life situations. What is variables? Variables are factors in a scientific investigation that can change or be measured. Scientists identify variables to design fair tests and determine whether one factor affects another. To identify independent and dependent variables correctly, we first need to understand the key terms scientists use when conducting investigations. Let's take a closer look at each one and unlock the science behind fair tests. First is independent variable. It is the factor that is deliberately changed or manipulated by the investigator. Next is dependent variable. It is the factor that is measured or observed to determine the effect of the change. Then, controlled variables. It is the factors that are kept the same to ensure the investigation is a fair test. Lastly, fair test rule. It is only one independent variable should be changed at a time, while all other relevant variables remain constant. Now, let's learn how to identify variables in an experiment. By asking a few simple questions, we can easily identify the independent, dependent, and controlled variables. Let's get started. Number 1. What is being changed, which is the independent variable? 2. What is being measured or observed, which is the dependent variable? Lastly, what must stay the same to make it a fair test, which is the controlled variables? Are you ready to become a variable detective? Let's explore some examples and see if we can identify the different variables. Example 1. Sunscreen and UV protection. The question is, how does the SPF rating of sunscreen affect UV protection? First, the independent variable is SPF rating of the sunscreen. Next, the dependent variable is amount of UV protection provided. And the controlled variables is the amount of sunscreen applied, time spent outdoors, and weather conditions. Example 2. AFL practice and kicking accuracy. The question is, how does the amount of AFL practice affect kicking accuracy? First, the independent variable, time spent practicing. Next, the dependent variable, kicking accuracy. And the controlled variables, same football, same distance to the target, and same player. Example 3. Shade and playground temperature. The question is, how does shade affect the temperature of playground equipment? First, the independent variable, amount of shade. Next, the dependent variable, temperature of the playground equipment, and the controlled variables, time of day, type of equipment, and weather conditions. Now that we understand the key terms, let's see how scientists identify variables in real investigations. Pay close attention to each example and see if you can spot the independent, dependent, and controlled variables. Number 1. Sports science. Sports scientists study how training methods affect performance. One factor is changed that affects the results, while the outcome measured is performance such as speed, strength, or accuracy. Other factors like the same athlete, equipment, and testing conditions are kept the same to ensure a fair test. 2. Environmental research. Scientists study how environmental factors affect ecosystems. One factor is changed, while the effect is measured through ecosystem responses, such as plant growth or biodiversity. Other conditions like location, soil type, time period, and species studied are kept the same. 3. Public health. Researchers study how lifestyle factors affect health. One factor is changed, while the effect is measured through health outcomes such as fitness or well-being. Other conditions like age group, environment, time period, and measurement methods are kept the same. Now, let's check what you know. Let's do the practice test. Are you ready? Question 1. What is the independent variable in an investigation? A. The factor that is measured. B. The factor that is changed. C. The conclusion. Or D. The results table. The correct answer is B. The factor that is changed. Question 2. A student investigates how the amount of shade affects playground temperature. What is the dependent variable? A. Amount of shade. B. Weather conditions. C. Playground temperature. Or D. Time of day. The correct answer is C. Playground temperature. Question 3. Which of the following is a controlled variable? A. The factor being measured. B. The factor being changed. C. A factor kept the same throughout the investigation. D. The hypothesis. The correct answer is C. A factor kept the same throughout the investigation. Question 4. In an investigation on AFL practice and kicking accuracy, what is the independent variable? A. Kicking accuracy. B. Distance from the target. C. Time spent practicing. Or D. Type of football. The correct answer is C. Time spent practicing. Question 5. A student investigates whether the amount of water affects the growth of a plant. What is the independent variable? A. Plant height. B. Amount of water given. C. Type of plant. Or D. Number of leaves. The correct answer is B. Amount of water given. Good job! Today, you learned how to identify independent, dependent, and controlled variables, and why they are important in a fair test. Keep thinking and investigating like a scientist. Thank you for learning with us today, and see you again at High5 Education. If you'd like to book a class or learn more about our programs, we'd love to hear from you. Simply check the contact details on your screen to get in touch with us. We offer expert tutoring and digital skills courses for students and parents through both online and face-to-face sessions. We look forward to learning with you. See you next time!